like do something on Twitter today because the price is down. We really were willing to be in obscurity for a while and not have anything for people to speculate on, and that was great. And then mainly just betting on people like the team's stellar. That's a big one. So yeah.
When developing
Well,
something
I
like
can
this,
tell you one thing they did really well as someone who played the game. The HUD UI and the map UI is fantastic. It's better than the Roblox search system. So you'll be able to find your friends' islands really well. Oh, the other really cool thing, they have a really unique social fi system where your little robot, if you click right on your mouse key, you can follow the person in real time in game, like through social profile. So like I would say the UI in the map search is top tier, like AAA quality in terms of that aspect. And the pinwheel for emoticons and interactions is also top tier.
wait, Charles, do you have a background in? Do you hear that, dude? I don't know why I decided to live in Hollywood. It's fucking loud 24/7. Um, is it's gross too. Anyway, Charles, do you have a background in gaming? Like, what even made you want to like? You just like woke up one day, you're like, "Fuck it, I'm creating the metaverse."
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I mean, I'll be very. I've never said it otherwise, but I'll be very transparent. Like, I personally have never made a game before. That's not. So my co-founder Zach has built, small scale projects. A bunch of our Unity team are kind of enthusiast indie devs and such. But yeah, for me, honestly, it's a few things. Like I've always just really been interested in what's going to make crypto go mainstream. That's like a story I want to contribute to in some way or see play out. And then the other thing too is like I really like the kind of like deep internet community side of NFTs, like people using the internet in a more creative way. And I just saw that, like, I think the big thing was kind of the size of the opportunity. I was like, okay, all these NFT communities exist. They need this. I think they do need this open gaming platform they can all utilize. And I was just like, oh damn, like I think I think that there's something to be built there. And just honestly, kind of just full committed. Again, like there's this extent to which it's rational, and there's an extent to which you just kind of like, yeah, I just want to do it. I think it'll be fun. So. I don't know if I have a good answer there, but but it's been a good time. I enjoy it.
Here's a little bit more of a testy question as we're kind of wrapping up this segment. Do you see? And feel free to answer, or not answer, whatever you want. Do you see things like other side as competition? Like, do you feel pressure to execute on a timely manner and like make sure your product is really the best it can be when you see these massive entities with, quite frankly, hundreds of millions of dollars in additional funding that are maybe not attempting to do the same thing, but definitely within the same vein? How do you look at competition?
Oh man, I mean, I'll just say it very plainly, like absolutely yes, absolutely yes. So, I see this as like right now we're in a kind of more we have a small enthusiast market. You can't really be the number two game world in a small market. You know what I mean? That's kind of a rough spot to be in, and because there's just not enough people and attention. So honestly, I've been the biggest blessing we've had in the history of the project has been just how little others have shipped. I've been like completely stunned by this because I would sit there and internally I'm like, you guys, we better get this goddamn game out like ASAP. We have to launch this thing right away. People are gonna, ship before us. And I've said it too. I'm like, we need to be out a year ahead of other side. Like it has to be really, we have to really, really go for it. Or we there's no point, we have to go all the way. And yeah, and so I do fully, honestly, I'd fully view all these groups as competition for sure. And they've provided great pressure to move quickly and to try to spend the resources we have like in a very high leverage way. But I'll say having a lot of money, it's something that people are attracted to with projects. Big treasuries. We're doing fine on that front, but uh, the but really though, the problem with having a big treasury is you outsource things, you choose to do everything, you don't focus on what's important, you try to boil the ocean, and maybe you get complacent and focus on the wrong things. So to be honest, I think I do view them as I do view all these people as competition for sure. Yeah, there's really not room for many Web3 game worlds.
Do you think it's kind of a winner takes all sort of scenario?
I think it really is, to be honest. Like for the most part. I do. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's an incredibly honest answer, because I think many people with the same question would give a very political answer, in the sense that, like, no, we're all gonna win, and Web3 and WAGMI and all these different things. But I appreciate the candid nature of the answer there, because
Appreciate that. Mind if I just say one last thing on that?
yeah,
Just so I
please,
can say a WAGMI thing too. There
please.
is room for tons of awesome communities and tons of people to do. Basically, like Uniswap and SushiSwap are competitors, but that doesn't mean every ERC20 token is competing with Uniswap. They're not. So all the communities in Web3, we're trying to give them superpowers. They're our number one priority. Like no one will. If you're an NFT project founder, nobody will rep harder for you and build more for you than we will. Uh, that's a guarantee. And so yeah, I'll say for them, we're not competition on any level. We're purely an ally.
You know, I said this. I, we were talking about this months ago. Maybe it had to be like 8, 9 months ago. And my call at the time, it was maybe even over a year ago. My call at the time was that there are projects out there that are probably sitting at a sub 0.05 floor, 0.03, 0.1, whatever it is, that have phenomenal generative identity based profile picture art. Like, there are really some projects out there that have amazing art. The problem is, a lot of those teams were either not prepared, not willing, or just maybe it just like wasn't the right time for them to build a giant tech startup in which people really expected during the roadmap PFP utility era. Which, by the way, I think we've actually moved past that quite a bit, and I think that ordinals are a big part of that too. Because like with ordinals, it's strictly art and community, and people have started to understand that, and that is bleeding over to the other blockchains slowly. But I actually think it's a good thing. But some of these projects that I'm talking about, I think there could definitely be a resurgence in not only their floor price, but their community, their activities, so on and so forth, as they now have a place to actually do something. Because without massive airdrops and utility and massive events and all these different things, there's actually not that much to do with your PFP, especially if you're not rocking it as your PFP in real time. It just sits in your wallet. But if you have all of these different digital playable characters with nuanced art and artists that really cared about creating cool collections, but the collections never became what people expected them to, because let's just be honest, if your collection doesn't hit a fucking 20, 30, 40, 50x floor price, people think that it failed. Even if it's up from mint, which
No,
I
it's
think
a
is
rug.
ridiculous.
It's
Which
a
is
rug. It didn't even fail.
Yeah, they call it a rug. Yeah, exactly. And again, things like Nifty Island provide, and like, not to glaze too hard, but I've been saying this for over a year. When you have these digital playable environments in which people can import their characters in, it provides a route for not only exposure but activity, and something for people to do with these pieces of art that they love that are currently just sitting in their wallets doing nothing. I'm telling you this. So I grew up playing MMOs, World of Warcraft, RuneScape, whatever it is, and one of the main things that I did in these games was like transmorgifying my gear, like spending a lot of time just crafting the look of my character was an incredibly um, it was like such a rewarding aspect of playing these games. Even
What
sometimes
was that
more.
word?
Pardon? What'd you say?
What was transmograph? What is that?
You have to just get up to date with the terms here. These are Web3 terms, I think. But anyway, when you have, like, I looked through some of my wallets, and they have all of these PFPs that I've minted or collected over the past 2 years. A lot of the art is sick, and to be able to freely swap in, swap out, and actually play these in digital worlds is something that I've been looking forward to for a long time. And I've gotten a lot of messages, not just in regards to Nifty Island, but anytime we talk about metaverse or digital worlds, however you want to call it. Um, they said, like, are you going to host spaces and do content from within these digital worlds? Maybe, but that's actually not why I'm most excited about them. It's mostly just being able to walk around as art and characters that I really have a lot of love for. Like, that in its simplicity is more than enough utility for many people, and I think that that's going to start to become accepted over time. So Charles, I mean, you're the fucking goat. It's nothing short but impressive what you guys have done with the marketing rollout, with the content, the game, everything. It's just yeah, it's incredibly impressive. And again, just to always disclose, this was a sponsored segment, but I would be saying these things whether it was sponsored or not, and I truly do mean that.
Dude, Lee, can I
I
pop in for a sec? Sorry, I hate to interrupt. But
Wait, can you let me just? Everyone says I hate to interrupt, and they
well,
just
hey,
interrupt
dude, I put my hand up, but it just goes away. Like spaces are fucked right now. I just had a question for Charles, but if you can get me at some
No,
point.
go ahead, CP. No, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. So Charles, dude, I'm really intrigued. I haven't had a chance to check out Nifty Island yet. So I was just wondering if you could just give like a quick 20 to 30-second rundown what
Bro,
the
he was
game's
just
about,
giving
like
all
for
of that.
myself and for everybody else that's in the space. And also,
Love it
I'm
though.
a
Give me the
Solana
content.
maxi. I heard that you're, obviously you said you're bringing Solana in. Why should I go ahead and start playing the game now as opposed to waiting for Solana to arrive?
Okay, I'm thinking of that last question. So I could say something kind of long and about how the game is good and it might be really fun, but I guess I'll say you should go in because there's an airdrop at the beginning, and you don't want to miss it. So maybe that's the easier argument. Okay, so yeah, what's it about? What are we doing? So really, the goal is a couple fold. Like there's two ways I describe it. We're trying to make a new type of user-generated content game world. So it works very differently from Roblox or Fortnite. And we really think the long-term goal is to make something like on par with that. But it behaves very differently. So every user gets an island in Nifty Island. Every user gets an island. They can build it up however they want in a fun way concurrently with other users with 3D assets they import or ones we provide. You can build up your own space. That's kind of step one. Step two, you can deploy custom games on your island. You can play shooter games on your island. On the same island, you can play an Among Us like social game. You can make obstacle courses and races. You're going to see that library of games grow over time. You're going to see it become more interesting and Web3 native, more financialized in cool ways, like with wagering and stuff. But so you can play games on those islands, and you can easily jump from island to island and participate in quests with crazy prizes. That's kind of the long story short of it. Player created islands, games you play on them, prizes to compete for. A very short form of UGC that anyone can make. Anyone can be a game creator. You don't have to have a dev shop or anything. And then on the NFT side, we have over 120. It's probably 140 now. I don't know. Communities integrated into Nifty Island with avatars they can play as their own social graph. They can connect with people they like and know from the communities they're in, and they can also participate in quests. And we'll have a ton of cool 3D assets they can earn by playing too. So it's a hub for NFT communities. It's their gaming lair. It's also a new type of game world comprised of player-created islands, and it truly is about gameplay and games, not standing around and kind of VR chatting. It's about games. That's the long story short.
Thanks,
Okay.
Charles. Also, you are ruthless. The first thing you said is there's an airdrop. I mean, I appreciate the honesty. Charles, look, I fucking appreciate you, and I appreciate you sponsoring the space, empowering the space, because, like, yeah, we're not monetized through Twitter, and it means a lot that you guys are not just me, you're supporting a ton of content creators, and a lot of people were supported throughout this entire rollout, and that does not go unnoticed within the creator community. It really doesn't. Like, people talk, and it goes a long way. So I appreciate you for that as well. And for everybody in the room, Nifty Island launches tomorrow. Please go play the game. Shout out Charles. And my PFP is the scariest thing I've ever seen, but it's also very cute. But is that what I look like to people? It's like when you hear your voice on a recording and it's so cringe. That's why I see this. I'm like, dude, I'm a mess. I'm a
Dude, you
fucking
have
mess.
the least threatening profile picture of anyone on all of
What?
Twitter.
Dude, I'm a bully.
I can't wait to see it with a gun.
Dude, my character doesn't even have arms. How am I
No,
going to
but
carry the
well,
items?
actually, wait, Charles, how does he grab the gun in the game?
It'll float next to him. Yeah, and it looks cooler than you think. We had to do it too for the.
Stanley.
We have an Ave avatar, so it's like a little ghost. Yeah. No, it'll
Wait,
work.
so Charles, you're saying I'm one of two avatars that has telekinesis?
Yeah, you can put it like that. That's
Wow.
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
telekinesis.
That's one of one. I guess technically one of
I'm gonna
two.
raid your island.
You're
and
warming
fucking-
up to the avatar. You're warming up to it.
I'm starting to. I'm not gonna lie. I'm starting to like it, and I am hyped to play it.
Leap, what kind of island are you gonna make when you have a computer?
Probably like OnlyFans, something like OnlyFans.
Yeah,
I'm
you
dead.
actually could. I already made a boobs on my island and Easy made
Jonah!
a dick on
Okay.
his.
All right, this is a PG space, okay? This is PG space, but we are gonna. Even the cars outside are mad at me. But Charles, dude, you're the best. I appreciate you.
You
Yeah,
live in,
no.
like in the middle of New York City.
Likewise, I feel like I learned a lot about Leap in this space too. I can't believe you streamed Decentraland.
Okay, to
That's
be
wild.
well, I also stream Sandbox, but they only have like a playable
Sorry
demo.
for your loss.
You gotta stream Nifty. If you did those things, I'm just I'll go. I'll let the space move on. I'll let you guys get to it, but you got to come
No,
on.
I'm
I'm
going
telling
to.
you, it's probably 10 times better than Sandbox as someone who's played both.
Well, look, I mean, so Thread Guy and I, by the way, we have Thread Guy and I have something cool coming tomorrow. So I said this yesterday. I'm not going to say what it is now. It's not a project. It's nothing like that. But we have something cool. Okay, I'll just fucking say it. Thread Guy and I are. Should I say it? Yeah, I'll say it.
Yeah, say it.
We are so for it's a big thing for us because we have. He's one of my best friends. We lived together for 6 months. Now we live separately, but he lives 10 minutes away from me, and I go to his house basically every day. Um, we've never created content together. Like people, like they'll thread and leap, whatever, but we really haven't created any content together. I used to co-host his spaces pretty regularly, but that was at the beginning of 2023. And ever since we moved to LA, like we hang out, we live together, whatever, but we don't create content. So starting tomorrow, we are launching our show, which is strictly just basically thread versus leap, TVL, kind of like a meme there. But I'm excited for it. And it's not going to be a space in which we like bring a ton of people up. We might have like one or two guests here and there, but for the most part, it's going to be like 45 minutes to an hour, sometime in the middle of the day, probably 3 times a week. And that's what we're doing. And we have something really cool coming with it as well that I personally think will change the way that people kind of think about spaces. So I'm very excited for that. So that will be probably, I think we're going to do it at 12:30 p.m. Pacific tomorrow, but I'll put out a tweet tomorrow to kind of like give a little bit more clarity. So that's coming tomorrow. But the reason I bring up Thread is because we have been looking for a game to stream, and we want to stream something that's based in Web3, that's native to this culture. Like we could stream fucking Roblox or Modern Warfare or whatever, but it doesn't really feel that close to us. So something like Nifty Island makes a lot more sense. So we will be streaming it. That's just like it seems like a no-brainer, honestly.
Amazing, amazing. All right, you let me know if I can help.
Well,
I guess I can help for sure, actually.
well,
So
what I
feel
want to
like you.
do, Charles, is some sort of like thread versus leap sort of island thing, where it's like the thread characters versus the leap character. We can talk about it offline, but there's like definitely some cool shit that we could do there.
Dude, you say the word, we'll get it going. You just shoot me a DM, and I think we can spin up something really cool fast.
Okay, let's do it. I'll shoot you a DM after the space and we can talk about it. But on that note, Charles, you're the best. Shout out Nifty Island, and thank you for sponsoring tonight's space.
Yes.
We're gonna move to the next topic here.
Sounds good. I'll drop off. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks,
So much.
Charles.
Take care.
Okay, we're moving to the next thing. Welcome to Space, everybody. I quit Spaces. If you're enjoying anything about the conversation, click that button, bottom right hand corner, like, comment, retweet, all that good stuff. There's a few things I want to talk about. We already talked about crypto undeads. I think we've kind of covered that one there. Quickly, Yuga, does anybody have any takes on Dookie Dash 2? I liked Dookie Dash 1. I thought it was fun for what it was. I thought the reward mechanism was interesting. I thought the game was hard as shit. But Dookie Dash 2 seems to be a more accessible version of the game. I guess mobile friendly with different skins and all these other miscellaneous things. Anybody on stage have any takes on Dookie Dash 2? Overhyped, underhyped? What do we think?
Dude, this is literally the first time I'm hearing about it. Like, that's how far Yuga's fallen off.
Okay, to be fair, I would say the majority of people in this space probably saw Dookie Dash 2 today.
I mean, look, it's
fair.
literally Dookie Dash 1 with like customization options. And I'm interested to see what they give out for awards though. I think that'll be cool. Bro, in bigger news, Babytron dropped a fucking game on the App Store that's literally a racing game and it's #1 in racing games, which is fucking crazy.
What?
Bro, Babytron the rapper dropped a better Dookie Dash than fucking Yuga. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, hold up. I don't know about this Baby Tron character, but the new Tron movie was definitely Dark Water, so we'll just leave it at that.
All right.
Look, I will play the game. I'm excited to play it. I just like more games in the space, even if they are simple, kind of temple run sort of things. I think Dookie Dash actually gets quite a bit of hate for kind of no reason. I mean, if there's a reason, please tell me. But I think anything being shipped is actually kind of a positive, if I'm being honest.
Dude, it was a really cool game. The problem with that, the way they had it set up is like, I mean, you have pro gamers come in and get the maximum amount of rewards. and 99% of people just aren't going to be able to compete at that level. So if you know you can't compete at that level, like why even fucking play? You know what I mean?
Well, so okay, so that's not totally fair. Like I used to play Overwatch a lot. I played Hearthstone. Any game you can Counter Strike, Valorant, League, Dota. It doesn't matter. I played all of them. I was not a top tier player in any sense of the word. I did probably the best I ever did was in Overwatch, but like Valorant I suck at, Counter Strike not great at, League I was decent, whatever. But I never felt, and what you're saying is not actually inaccurate. A lot of people feel that they're like, I'll never be the best, so why play? Bro, I play games to relax, not to have a
Well,
second
yeah, I
job.
get that, but it's like, is the game good enough to play just to relax, right? So, like, if you I mean, there's so much competition in that space. So, like, I feel like the draw for that was the potential rewards. So, like, if you know you're not going to get the reward, why play it? Like, there are so many better ways to spend your time.
Yeah, but there were so many you could get. Even if you placed top 1,000, if you were top 1,000 or even like top five, that there were rewards that were not necessarily insignificant, and it also depended on how you got your sewer pass. So if you paid 3, 4 ETH for your sewer pass, yeah, like maybe the rewards doesn't cost. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's not going to like recoup your cost there. Um, but if you got your sewer pass free, if it was airdropped to you, that was basically all wins. So I don't know. I personally liked it. It wasn't like a game changing, revolutionary thing, but I did think it was cool. Um, but I mean, again, what I'm most excited for is other side. I think they need to ship this thing. How is Nifty Island shipping a fully produced game tomorrow, playable, and the whole space is excited about it? And again, I'm a fan of you guys, so don't take it. And I hold other deeds as well, so just keep that there. But yeah, I mean it's, but also maybe the scope of other side is more. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe Jonah could have spoke more on this, but I'll throw it over to. We got a couple apes on stage here. I'll throw it over to TFG, and then we'll go to Jay. TFG, what's up? What do you think about this whole thing?
Yo, what's going on, guys? Yeah, thanks for bringing me up. Just wanted to talk about Dookie Dash a little bit. I got invited to the gaming council, so I was able to play test it over the last week and kind of work behind the scenes with Yuga in terms of providing like feedback. And I got to say, they've done a really good job listening to the council team. Like all of the issues we found with the game, they immediately fixed and put together like a checklist. So it's just good to see them implementing feedback so quickly because last year with like Heavy Metal Forge, that was kind of an issue. They weren't necessarily like listening a ton. So it's great to see like they're turning a new leaf in that. Very excited. And just in terms of the gameplay, and I think it's great, honestly. I know someone said that it's just like the same game, but they rebuilt it from the ground up with a completely new game developing studio. And it feels much, much better. And there's a lot new features. There's going to be user generated content, so you can go in there and create your own skins and earn revenue off of that. So if you're like a top player or an esports organization, there's definitely a lot of opportunities to get involved. I've also had the pleasure to talk with the team about esports and competitiveness. There's going to be regular esports events and hopefully possibly the first ever esports Web3 LAN event at Ape Fest this year, which would be super dope. And it really the overall like messaging from them though is like this is their big play to create like a viral Web 2 mobile game sensation. And honestly, I think it's very possible. I've played a lot of mobile games in my day, and my background comes in professional gaming. I actually also played a ton of Overwatch. I was a pro in Overwatch for a good couple years. I played under TSM, Ghost Gaming, Splice. I don't know if you guys are familiar with any of those esports teams, but I have a heavy background in that industry. And I really do think there is a great opportunity here for Yuga and Dookie Dash to kind of make a name for themselves with this game. I'm excited. I'm bullish about it. And to also hear that this was kind of just like a side quest, not really like a thing they were heavily focused on. The big focus still is the other side. And they did reveal at Ape Fest last year that there's a big game coming in April. And this didn't, interfere with that in any way. So that big game is still coming. So excited for that. Yeah, thank you for bringing me up, Leap. Appreciate it. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask.
So maybe not for today. This is our first time interacting, so it's so nice to meet you. Maybe not for today, but dude, we gotta fucking talk at some point about what the hell went wrong with Overwatch. How did that go from? I mean, I thought that was going to be the Olympics of when the Overwatch League rolled out, those first initial Twitch streams were ridiculous. I mean, the highest level of production, the fans, the this, the that, the stadiums, and it all went down when XQC got kicked off. That's all I can say. I'm not saying it was because of that, but it was after that. That's when shit started to get crazy. Um, But yeah, we'll talk about that a different day. I want to throw it quickly over to Jay. Jay, I mean, you've been a Bored Ape for as long as I've known you. What do you think about this whole Dookie Dash 2 thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna speak on a gamer side. Same thing with me. Play the top levels, competitive as well. I'm just a gamer at heart. I think like I'm super pumped with content creation stuff like that, but Bored Ape Yacht Club needs to understand how that content creation is going to adapt because the user retention in the Web3 space is just so low, right? Like people just get tired like 1 week, 2 weeks, right? So I think going after guilds and understanding like that kind of surface of like YGG and like the big top dogs is going to like propel that. But like for now, yeah, I'm super pumped. I think user creation is dope as hell, but if they're trying to like be like I to be honest, I don't see competitive. I'm gonna be real. It looks like it's just a casual game. We're not talking about shooters, FPS, or like I don't know, some crazy stuff, but I do see some casual gaming and some fun that, you know, if you're bored, but I'm not going to be going on my mobile to grind for competitive. You know, I'm going to be on Counter Strike or Overwatch or Rust and stuff like that if I'm trying to grind, right? So I don't know. We'll see. I'm super pumped. I'm always a big fan of like, you know, games coming out of Web3, but I'm just bearish on Web3 gamers. I'm sorry to say, because at the end of the day, a Web3 gamer is looking for an incentive. As soon as you don't give them incentive, they just, you know, their user retention is not there.
All right, hold up. So this is actually like a really interesting point here, Jay. And I actually agree with you. Also, I didn't know people grinded in Rust. I didn't know there was like a Rust competitive scene.
Bro, I have 15,000 hours in Rust.
What?
Dude,
What?
Russ
Okay.
is fucking sick.
Yeah.
Super sick.
And I have a skin in Rust, so that's how crazy I am.
We need a
Rust.
Rust competitive league. Somebody hit up fucking whoever. Okay, well, tell me this, Jay. Okay, so
Yeah.
I actually heavily agree with you, and I think that for the most part, any X to earn system is, unless there's something else there, is typically doomed for a death spiral. Um, Now that doesn't mean that it's gonna, just because something is X to earn in any manner, that doesn't mean it's bad. I actually think it can be really good. But when it comes to a lot of games we've seen, and I'm sure Jonah could talk more about this, or some of the people who are more proficient on the gaming side here, but for a lot of the games we've seen, when the token starts to go down, like there's no incentive to play the game because the entire point to play the game was to farm the token. And
Yeah, correct. And
how do you fix that problem? But I don't think incentivizing people is inherently wrong or bad. I think it can be powerful, but how do you make it
content creation? 100%.
Well, yeah,
I'll
dude,
give you
dude.
like.
Well, hold up, CP.
Okay,
hold up,
okay.
CP.
With,
Hold on.
you need to propel content creation, right? Like for instance, I'll take this a great example, and you know what's funny? No one has tapped into it. I'm surprised no one is thinking this route. Pretty much, look, GTA no pixel RP, right? One of the biggest platforms right now for user content creation. People watch, you know, role playing on GTA. Like no one has gone that route where, you know, there are like whitelisted servers of people making content creation and you know can go into.
There are people, Jay.
No, I know. Like you
Chili
have like
Chills is doing
Helix,
it.
you have Helix that's trying to do it, but I'm saying like there's nothing right now. That's what I'm saying, right? It's
No,
like,
there is. There's
But-
Chili Chills does it.
yeah, but it's probably dog water because no one's talking about. No one's making content creation, right? No one wants to go into it, right? It's just like there
Well,
needs to be some kind
they're
of.
advertising it to like people here, bro. People here don't even read. Makes
I
you
know
think they're
that,
gonna watch
but I'm
videos.
saying if something is going to stick, it's going to stick. It doesn't need to be forced. That's the thing. Like gamers play games because they're addicted, right? I'm addicted to FPS shooter games, right? I don't need to be pitched and forced. When I'm I'm going to go on Twitch, and if I'm looking at a game that I want to buy, I'll watch that content creation, right? I'll watch that creator and see like, you know what? Hey, I'll play it. Like Bored Ape Yacht Club needs to go into that route of making, you know, a title on Twitch, a category and stuff like that. Like, I'm sorry to say, Dookie Dash was a blast. I had a blast. I played for like 15 hours a day, but they kind of screwed up in a route where they should have had a title on Twitch where people were streaming it and all that stuff. Like, you had people streaming it in IRL where you couldn't even capture a Web3 gamer, right? Like, we need to go into a section where we could be seen and not kind of like stick into like our eco bubble chamber that we are.
It's such a great point about the category on Twitch. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, bro, they blew it like that. Like they honestly like I love like I want Web3 gaming to like go berserk. Right?
Wouldn't it be like kind of considered like speed runs though, Jay?
No,
Like,
it wasn't really a speed run. Like they have that kind of connections that all they need to talk to is Twitch partnerships, open up the title, category, I mean, and then boom, right? Like it was so hard to find a streamer that was streaming Dookie Dash. You had to like search them or you had to know them, right? And there was only like a couple, but still, like as soon as a streamer see like viewers going up, they want to stream the game because it's just like Twitter. If someone's gonna like I don't know, tweet something and people see that they're tweeting it, they're going to try to like respond to it and try to get, reactions and stuff like that. It's the same thing with Twitch.
Well,
I definitely agree.
Oh, sorry, Lee.
CP,
Yeah,
okay,
come on, man. I'm just trying to find a wall.
No, we got
to
hands.
bring
We
up
got
a
hands.
point.
We got hands.
It's
No, we got hands. Dude, this is what I was saying the other day. Anybody who has 2 letters in their name, bad news. OG, TOCP, like it's just 2 letters, it's bad news. But 3 letters is okay, especially 4. Look, we're throwing it over to OG, one of these 2-letter MFers. OG, what do you think about this? Are you streaming Dookie Dash 2?
Nah, but honestly, I really like a lot of the takes Jay just gave. If they had a fucking channel on Twitch, it may have been a whole different ball game. Like one of my favorite examples of like games being completely revived by Twitch or like streaming in general is Rainbow Six Siege. And I might be biased because like, bro, this shit has fucking taken my soul for the past 2 weeks. This is all I've been fucking doing. But
Bro, it's dead. Leave it alone.
It should be dead. But Jinxie fucking revived it, bro. Like Jinxie's revived it solo, like damn near by himself. He got 2 of the biggest players in Rainbow Six Siege, the best in the fucking face of the earth, on a stream. And that stream had instantly, as soon as he started it, 150,000 people watching. Now,
yeah, and honestly, that's what I wish I could talk to them. That's what Bored Ape Yacht Club needs. They need content generation. They need a tunnel where it could be viewed. I'm sorry to say, Twitter is not it. You're gonna have people trying to be on YouTube streaming and stuff like that. No, like get on Kick or get on Twitch and get a title, get a category, so people can tunnel in and say like, oh shit, like TFG is streaming. Let me hit him up or let me see if he's streaming. Oh shit, he's streaming Dookie Dash. Oh shit, wait, he has 1,000 viewers. Let me.
But Jay, why aren't you on the council? Because these are the most like well-rounded takes I've heard all night.
I don't know, man. I mean, people said they're like switching council, like it's gonna be like a quarterly or I don't know something. And I would love to be like, to be honest, I want to succeed in game. Like I've been gaming my whole life. I played every single title professionally. Started organization orgs too. Like I just love gaming.
Look, even then though, if they were able to get a channel and things of that nature, one of the biggest like pros of that is that you might shine a light on someone who's been streaming for a while and wanted to find their voice in like the streaming world, whether that looks like from Web3 or Web2, and like you might birth this fucking superstar. And if you do that, then your game and like your brand is known to them forever. And like they're gonna quote you, they're gonna talk about you, and that's just like free UGC for the rest of eternity.
Also, you brought up Jinxie. I don't know too much about Jinxie, but I did see a Dextero tweet about Jinxie today, where Jinxie streamed for an entire year, 12 months, in some months upwards of 150 hours. Some months upwards of 150 hours. He streamed for a year, and his average viewer count for that entire year was 1 viewer.
Bro, he talks about this a lot, bro. He had like 2 people on his stream for like a year and a half straight.
It's insane, dude. Imagine streaming all day, every day for a year, and sometimes 2 people. Maybe if you're lucky, you had 5 people, but on average,
what was his breakthrough?
What was his breakthrough, OG? I don't know enough about it.
Honestly, a little bit like. I think Jinxie's a little bit much, but some of his breakthroughs were definitely his reactions. Like one of his things is that people would send in Rainbow Six Siege clips, and because he's like champion, which is like the highest rank you can get, he would absolutely fucking roast their clips, go absolutely fucking insane on them. Like he'd send in a clip, Buddy would like move his reticle a little bit to the left of somebody. He'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he would just like wild out, bro. And that's why that's what broke him through. I think he recognized like through streaming every fucking day for over a year that like you have to have some sort of personality if you want to retain viewers. Because if you're just fucking talking normally or like behaving like how you would in a fucking day to day on the fucking stream,
bro, you're not going to retain any viewers. You're not going to gain any new ones. No one's going to tell their friends about you. Like, this shit is so fucking crazy.
But
this dude is doing this, that.
Look at iShowSpeed. iShowSpeed showed his fucking dick on stream and got 20 times bigger. His like most recent Instagram post got 1 million likes in like 10 minutes.
Bro, he's the prime example, bro. He's the prime example. I highly fucking doubt he does that off camera, just like hanging with the homies, bro. Like he acts that way. There's no shot.
No way.
But like, but you got to understand, there's two different kind of content creation, right? You have those loud guys, right? That like for instance, like come on, the born creation of all those guys. I'm sorry, is Ice Poseidon. Let's be fucking real, right? That was the creation of Ice Poseidon, like that crazy. But then you have like people that are generally good and are boring, but their content is like amazing. Like for instance, I'm sorry to say, but Shroud is just an animal in gaming.
Jay, I feel like you'd know this person. You know Video Game Donkey?
Yeah.
Bro, I feel like he's like the perfect example of someone who's like pretty chill, but like he's always funny as fuck and always kills it.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like anybody that's a streamer can propel. You just need to have one key. It's either you're funny, you're really good at gaming, or you're just good in conversation, right? Like you have Summit 1G that's just just really good at gaming, and he's he has an older crowd, and and then you have like I said, you have those crazy motherfuckers that they propel crazy, but their retention rate is very small because they're on to the next wave of another big character that's about to come out, like on Twitch streaming or Kick or anything like that.
So, and by the way, I never thought there would be a conversation more nerdy than NFTs, and we've attempted and succeeded.
I honestly love this a lot more though.
I think it's less nerdy.
Okay, well, this is the point I'm trying to make. And I can talk about games and especially streaming all the time. And Jay, I know you have like a really just storied background in that industry as well. And it sounds like
bring back your stream, bro. I miss it, bro.
I'm getting a computer this week, and we're launching the show Thread and I tomorrow, and we have something planned for streaming as well. It's time to fucking really just amp this shit up because, and the point I'm trying to make is content in Web3. We talk about it so much, and it's definitely boring at a certain point. But we have yet to hit our inflection point of content in the space. And frankly, including me, I think the content right now in Web3 is mediocre at best, including me. I think that we do a good job for what it is. And I think we host important conversations and we talk to like really interesting people. And I genuinely love the spaces that we host, or else I wouldn't be doing them. Trust me, I would. It's not.
But can we please spin the conversation to talk about this?
We can talk about it 1,000 times over, but when I look at TikTok or Instagram Reels or I'm watching YouTube and I watch like the most recent Mr. Beast video, I'm like, dude, and yeah, like he's a professional, whatever, but I'm like, this is 8,000 billion times %.
Yeah, because Mr. Beast spends $1 million on every video.
But
it's not just that, bro.
It's like, not that. Hold on. It's not just that, dude. You like go. Some people really like Asmongold, right? Some people really like whatever, Moist Critical, whoever you fucking decide to watch. But like even people who don't spend a shit ton of money on their content, they're still producing content at a higher technical level, a higher proficiency level. And a lot of these people have been doing it for a decade, right? So these aren't just day one creators. That being said, me included, we have a long way to fucking go in this space. Jay said it the best. UGC, user-generated content, whether that's in a game, on spaces, videos, stream, whatever it is, if we want the rest of the world to care about what we're doing here, we need to just have better content across the board. And that doesn't just mean entertainment content in the sense that it's a space or a recording. People writing really good threads can be a thing, but like we're still very, very, very early, and we just need to do a better job. I had a whole conversation with Thread about this earlier tonight. I'm like, dude, like, what are we doing? We can do so much better than what we're doing, and that's what we're going to attempt to do. I'll throw it back to Jay quickly, and then I want to go to the rest of the hands.
Yeah, to complete that, it's not. I think like I troll a lot, but I mean, I say that Web3 content creators are just budget Twitch streamers, but I think the hardest thing about all that is, to be honest, is it's one thing. It's discoverability. Like we think the discoverability on Web3, I'm sorry to say, it's trash. Like there's no discoverability. There's no platform that I can just click on and scroll. Oh, videos, boom. This you have to go to Twitter. You have to go to YouTube.
There's
you
like
have to
zero
go to Spotify.
discoverability.
There's no platform that like aggregates everything, right? As a new user, that's not overwhelmed, and that's discoverability.
Well, I'm saying I'm working on it.
Okay.
It's one of the biggest problems, especially with spaces, and like this is, dude, it's almost like a travesty because you think about it. Like, let's say you're on Kick or whatever. If you pull 500 people, I mean, we have, let's see how many people we have in here. We have 473, and I shout out to every single one of you guys. But if you pull 473 as a streamer, like, no, you're not Kai Cenat, but you're doing pretty well. Like, you could probably make 6 figures a year with 500 concurrent viewers through sponsorships, subs, things like that. You could make mid 6 figures depending on like what kind of content you do. But not only that, you go to the front page, like you climb the ranks in the streams, and when people start to scroll through stuff, if you have 500, 600, 1,000, whatever it is, like you're getting up there. People can discover you organically. But with spaces, it does not exist that way. Like there is no, and now that they have these live streams on Twitter, you can have one viewer in your fucking live stream, and it's at the top of the screen, at the front of all the, you know, like the pink bar at the top. That is ridiculous. Then you have one viewer, and you're number one on top of all the spaces and the people. Like it doesn't even make sense. The design choices that they make in terms of discoverability on this app are fucking ridiculous. Now, I do think that in terms of the timeline itself, if you tweet, there's a huge amount of discoverability, of course, because it's much easier for people to retweet and quickly consume whatever content that you're writing. It's in written form. But with spaces, it's also very tough too, because especially if it's like, let's say, a 3-hour space. Brett and I were sitting, we were just like jumping through spaces tonight, and spaces that we don't typically go to, like politics spaces, like fucking something Ramaswamy spaces,
Bro, I hate
whatever.
the politics spaces. How do you even
I'm not
do that?
I'm not a fan, and I won't do political spaces. I'm just not educated enough to responsibly moderate them.
They are not educated enough to be talking about anything that they talk about.
I mean, I don't disagree, but those spaces get a lot of reach. Like there was one.
But they only get the reach because they're contentious. Like it's in the nature of the content, right? Sorry, I had my hand up.
No. I mean, I 100% agree. I guess the point that I'm trying to make is like, I mean, Jay's absolutely right. But the discoverability issue is not strictly just for content; it's also for artists and smaller creators within the space. They like, if we say this all the time, if you're like a brand new artist, where do you even go? Your only form of discoverability in crypto is on a Web2 centralized platform. That is ridiculous. So like it either needs to come natively through marketplaces, or there needs to be.
So the best discoverability, the best decentralized discoverability of all time, in my opinion, was in the Napster days. If a file that you hosted had a lot of seeds, or any torrent, not just Napster, like any torrenting platform, whether it was like the difficulty of getting a membership to a what.cd or whatever it was back then, something's popularity was enhanced in perceived nature just by how many people were seeing the file. That's like wild, right? Like that.
I remember those days.
Right, but like that was interesting discoverability that actually existed in a decentralized way. Like I fucking discovered Radiohead on Pirate Bay.
Bro,
because there were a lot of seeds.
Most of the jam dance
computer
survived because of that. Like dudes going out and cassette tape recording fucking live shows and uploading them to archive. Like you're so totally right about that.
Well, and then you would, if you love the content, you felt like you wanted to distribute it to an unknown user on the other end of the fucking torrent, right? Like you quite literally, like if you like anything that I didn't end up liking, I didn't seed, but I actually seeded files that I liked, and I let other people share in those. And then there was this crazy network effect of like, if a file had more seeds, it sort of excited you more and like wanted, like you sort of like went to go download it that way. Like that's fucking awesome. I actually think there's a version of that that's working in the future. Don't know exactly what it is, but that's like interesting. Sorry, I just want to bring up an example.
You would get on there like looking up live shows and whatever pirate streams, and the ones with the most seeds, you're like, okay, that's got to be the best quality version of this show. And so that's what
yeah, that's authentic. I'm downloading it. I totally see that shit.
So I mean, there was like a form of that, like even what Icy tools in the last cycle. Like if a lot of people were minting something or buying something, you could just find it there. But I feel like there needs to be.
Well, crypto has an interesting indexing problem. That like the reason why discoverability is so hard in Web3 is because of it. It's because it's really hard to index blockchains. Like that's like the technical. Like it's in general like a very difficult thing to do, and that's partially because of metadata inconsistencies. So I mean, and then you have like different indexers. So it's a hard problem to solve in crypto that is different in crypto than it is.
And also discoverability and we'll go to the hands here, but discoverability depending on what you're trying to make discoverable is so different. The way you would approach that from, at least what I think, is the way you'd approach that from, like, let's say a one-of-one artist side compared to somebody that's, I don't know, like doing a 10K collection, or someone who's building game assets, like it, or even someone who has code that they want to like open source and show to the world. It's very different. Now, this is completely unrelated, but I was scrolling through Mario Nafal's profile right now just because we're talking about like discoverability and accounts that have big reach. Listen to this tweet that he did earlier today. This is fuck, I lost it. Hold on. This is the wording here. I'm not going to say it's good or bad. I just need to read it because I need to get it out of my system. And it says this. And it has 330,000 views on it, by the way. 1.3K likes. This is from 3 hours ago. His engagement's cracked. He wrote, new deadly Chinese COVID-19 strain. Chinese lab crafts mutant COVID-19 strain with, and this is the part that's
good night.
This is the part that gets me. It says mutant ape COVID-19 strain with 100% kill streak in humanized mice. What is this, fucking Call of Duty? Kill streak?
No, kill streak is crazy.
It's such a crazy way to put it.
He was doing a promo for Dookie Dash.
That's crazy. I don't even know how to respond to that one. Okay, look, we're going to the hands. We're throwing it over to OG. OG, what's up?
I actually want to touch back on this point you were just talking about regarding like content discoverability. I think you made a great point when you said that it's really important to like qualify what you're looking to get discovered for, rather than just like you treating it as a whole. I feel like, especially on Twitter, let's say you're just trying to become like a cracked ass content creator, not exclusively Web3, just in general. Bro, Twitter is like the probably top 5 hardest fucking platforms to do it, because some of the biggest like accounts that get the most reach, or like you get seen by the most people, are like shit posters, memers. Like you got Kira Won't Miss. You got that.
Kira is different.
He is him, bro. He is him.
Wait, can somebody pin who that is?
Bro, Kira does it like,
I got it.
He does it like, and I'll throw it back to you, OG. Kira has like 8 posts a day, and every post has like 500,000 likes on it, and it's legit. It is the most and he's just shit posting. He's just getting memes and things like that, and quote tweeting stuff and whatever. And it's the whole like Kornsky crowd. Like there's like a few of these like OG Twitter users that have been around for a while that have just grown insanely massive audiences. They do more engagement than Elon. It's actually ridiculous. When you look at Kira's feed, every post is like 200,000 likes, 500,000 likes, 20 million views, 10 million views. It is
R.I.P. Albert, bro. Albert was the OG.
Yeah, rest I was thinking about this the other day. Like I was like, I wonder how much Kira makes, and some of these guys. There's also Juju as well. Like
bro, Korn literally dropped one time like his like Twitter payments, and like it was like 60K to 100K every month.
But okay, so 60 to 100K is, so this is a problem with some of these accounts. Basically everything they post for the most part is an undisclosed ad, and it's always OnlyFans girls. And like they'll do like 7 posts a day, and it'll be like some OnlyFans thing that's not disclosed. A lot of times it gets community noted, but you got to imagine they're getting paid like fucking 20,000 to 30,000 a post, and they're like, they are slinging them. They're probably doing 50 of them a month.
Bro, a million a month minimum, bro, for sure.
They're making so much stupid money. It's actually insane. But anyway, go ahead, OG, and we'll throw it to the rest of the hands.
Bro, first off, yeah, that entire like thing is insane. But you either got to be one of those people who just like constantly shit post and like make it through memeing, like to get insane like notoriety and like visibility on this platform, or you can be the 99% of other people on this platform. How they gain their following is by building a platform somewhere else and then making a Twitter and like funneling from that platform to the Twitter, and then they just skyrocket in following. Like one of my favorite examples is Tony Stadavici, right? Like dude's an insane TikToker. He's probably like one of the funniest skit makers I've ever seen. And this motherfucker makes a Twitter one day and just starts throwing the same exact videos on Twitter. He puts it in one TikTok, but he's at like 150K the next day from like 2,000. Like 99% of the time, that's how these motherfuckers' platforms are getting like built. So just posting into the ether on Twitter just by itself is like one of the most like pigeonholing things you can do, regardless of what type of content you're trying to make.
Well, like remember when the other night when we had Justin on stage, and he was there, like he led the initiative for Twitter Spaces, and Tina as well was up here. They led the initiative for the hexes on NFTs. That was, by the way, a great space we did. Really provides a ton of background on just the history of like how Spaces came to be, how the NFT program at Twitter even existed in the first place, that sort of thing. But he mentioned this. It was one of the biggest problems that they faced internally at Twitter at the time, and they never really solved. Is that for us? Look, I love Twitter. I love X, Twitter, whatever it is. All my friends are here. The content that I want to consume is here. I love crypto. I love NFTs, and I like to read about it. And this is a great spot for it, and it's a good place to meet friends and all this other stuff. But if you're a brand new person, forget NFTs, forget crypto. Let's just say you're a brand new person and you want to use this app. I think there's 25 million monthly users. It's not insane, right? Like we're not talking like the numbers that Facebook or Instagram, YouTube, much smaller. If you are a brand new person and you go use Reddit, Reddit will show you 1,000 things. And like they show you maybe like a gaming post. And actually, when you sign up for Reddit, to ask you what your interests are. Show you some politics stuff, some gaming stuff, news, animals, photography, drawing, whatever it is. There's something there that you can find, even if you don't have a Reddit account. But with Twitter, one, you can't even use it if you don't have an account, which I think is, I don't know how I feel about that. I know they're trying to curb the bots and things like that. I understand that, but you can't even use it if you don't have an account. So you have to start an account, and when you start, you're basically recommended to follow either, and I'm quoting now, Justin. You're either following Elon. It'll say like, what do you want to follow? Elon, Jimmy Fallon, Lady Gaga, or Kanye West. So it'll basically show you these like massive accounts and say, do you want to follow them? Let's say you click follow. All right, fuck it, I'll follow Jimmy Fallon and I'll follow Elon, whatever. Then what? Okay, well let me start tweeting because that's what people do here.
No, it shows you like categories to follow. It'll be like technology, business, basketball, things of that nature.
Okay, that's better than I even thought it was, to be honest. I didn't even know it showed you that. But let's say you follow technology, right? And you want to comment on the most recent sort of the Apple headset that just is releasing right now. So you write a tweet and you say, this headset's really cool. I want to get one. 0 views, 0 likes. Then what? There is no way to like it, and you immediately get turned off. There's nothing that you can do. On Instagram, you can scroll through reels all day, every day, and have a good time doing it.
But you could get on Spaces and pick up a following that way.
But that only works like if you have 0 followers. Are you getting let up on a stage?
That's my thing, bro. Like from the 0 to 1,000 range, like follower range, 95% of the time you're not getting let up on a space, bro. Like especially if you're in like crypto Twitter, like it's very difficult to just like off rip get put up on a space.
But isn't that why Frank said like that he wants like Utes or whatever to be like you gain your first 1,000 followers from like just buying a Ute and you get that from that because of that problem?
So that is what he said, and I still think to this day. And who was Justin was talking about it with the cold start problem that exists with Twitter. There are definitely NFTs that you could purchase where, and it's not as much now. Like back in the day, if you like bought a CryptoPunk or a Bored Ape, you could come in fresh and get like 800 likes on a post and have a bunch of people follow you. It's not like that now, but let's say it was like that. We cannot expect people to onboard to this space, and the only way that they can, it's not about gaining a following, it's about like having a network. The only way that they can meet people is by spending $10,000. What are we talking about? We're one step above escorts at this point. Like you got to spend $10,000 to just fucking like.
We wish we could be escorts. To be honest, a lot of you guys, not me.
One step below
but,
escorts. One step below them. And nothing but respect. Yeah, anyway, the point stands. Like there's just nothing for people. There's nothing for people to do. Anyway, I was just kind of shouting into the void here. Elon's never gonna listen.
I mean, like, so what's the approach then? Like, if you're trying to create content to fucking expand, bro. Like, I don't think.
I'm literally content hacker. The approach is you can't get on Twitter. You said it for yourself. The best way is to use an adaptive platform like TikTok, and where the discoverability is like a snapshot, right? It really propels you, and then you start funneling people into a platform that has community growth, and then you go from there, right? Like going through TikTok, using those TikToks to use Instagram Shorts, and then just it's called pillar content. Use the same content, but then you chop it down to different increments where it feels like it's unique, but it's the same recording that you did for the full set. And then you just chop it out, and then once you grow that audience, then you tell yourself into Twitter.
I'm gonna give you guys a quick growth hack. Okay, so what I did with this one account that I have is like I literally took like the most like disturbing content off of Reddit, like near-death experiences, and over a year I built it up to 100,000 normies, and then I converted it into a crypto account. Like that.
Hold on. So like people do that.
Bro, I'm just, that was the easy way.
And I love that. Honestly, on TikTok, I read all of like the crazy Reddit shit that like I've read all of these stories before, but like it's still good. But that being said, that's not like if you have 0 followers, who the fuck cares? Request up. People will let you up. Like maybe they won't if you have no tweets, but if you comment something relating to the conversation on the space, I guarantee it. This was like my burner Twitter. When I came into crypto on this Twitter, like I had maybe 100 followers. This was like the Twitter that I didn't use, right? And I just say shit. I don't want anyone to follow me. I literally don't care. If you speak your mind, you will connect with people. And I actually think, and I hate this, I'm giving Twitter props right now, but like Twitter, you can go completely viral with no followers. And like you're not going to gain a following from that one viral tweet, but your content will be seen, right? TikTok, a little bit different. And you have to know what type of content you're comfortable creating and like where the best place to build an audience is. But if you build a large audience on TikTok and like it's really fucking easy to go viral on TikTok, it's a lot harder to actually convert people off of that app. So you also like
I feel like
statistically like it is, and I can go into this, but I really don't think that we should be discouraging people from trying, because all of us came into this shit not knowing any of each other and just started talking, right? And just like connected with people and tried to learn things and tried to teach people things. And I don't think it's that fucking hard. It's hard if you try, right? If you are just true to what you are, you're gonna find what you're looking for.
So I actually totally agree with Jen, and as somebody who built my entire fucking life off of Facebook pre-algorithm, like I've seen so many iterations of this, and if not for Facebook and YouTube, pre-Instagram, like I mean I guess Twitter was already around, but like wasn't really a source of content creation. It was definitely more focused on news when I started my career. But I literally built my entire life around a fucking viral YouTube video and Facebook likes that weren't throttled back by an advertising algorithm.
And that was when you had to invite people one person at a time, and that's how Matt Meyer
your
found
Facebook
me
page.
when I was promoting shows. I was like, "Hey, we're gonna do
Wait,
Loud
you know
Post."
Matt?
Yeah,
Jen,
literally
what?
did your show in. Okay, anyway, this.
All right, okay,
wait,
hold on.
Jen, you never told me this.
All right, hold on. Before we get into a whole reminiscent of the fucking good old golden days, I do not disagree with anything you're saying, Jen, at all. Because I was similar for me. I mean, everyone gets started with 0 and then they build it up. But where I think the difference is, and where I think it's maybe unacceptable is not the term, but let's bring it back to Web3 for a second. For people who want to get involved, it should not require a 10-hour a day commitment. Because for a lot of the people who have done decently in terms of the social aspect, fuck it, I mean, any aspect of Web3, if you want to be a trader, you got to put in a lot of time to study and learn as well. And I don't, by the way, I don't think that people should be able to come in here with a 20 minute a day commitment and fucking grow 100,000 followers and make $20 million. Like, anything you do in your life, you're going to have to put time. That being said, it is very lonely I was talking to somebody about this at Art Basel in person, where they like pulled up to an event and they were just kind of standing alone. They didn't really like know it. We're talking, and they were telling me like it's just like fucking lonely. They're like, I bought these NFTs and I thought I would have a community, and it's just like I don't really know anybody here, and it's like weird and whatever. And at a certain point, you do got to put in the legwork. Like you can be,
it takes. We literally talked about this on the phone earlier. It shouldn't. It's never going to be easy to get people to care about you.
Of course.
Okay, but
and
hold on.
you did it.
But that's not the point, though. That's not
There's
the point.
a counter to that, and I agree with you that it shouldn't take 10 hours, but also like I've done community for a lot of projects that are like not Web3 native, right? Where it's a lot of people's first NFTs. And I've done also like super degen stuff, right? There's different ways to enter and converse, right? And like starting in Discord, moving to Twitter, right? I think that's a really good way. You don't have to be in there. There's people that come in once a day, every day for 10 minutes, and like in a week, everyone knows them, right? You have to
Once a
be
day for 10
consistent,
minutes.
but communities, hold on. One thing is like community is not built by buying a fucking JPEG that someone else bought. It's built one genuine connection at a time. You still have to connect with people. And like there are some places and communities that like facilitate that experience better than others, but like it's not something that just happens. There still has to be like a level of connection, and it doesn't need to take 10 hours.
Look,
But
I
maybe
agree with
it's
what you
not
say.
choices.
I think something like we all need to like come to terms with though is that most of us are pretty fucking insane, bro. Like it takes a certain amount of dedication to actually like, bro, imagine it's your first day on Twitter. You got like maybe 10 followers if you're lucky. You go to a space. They are not letting you up. You have to go to that space for at least a week straight for them to be like, oh shit, like I guess this person's pulling up every day. I might let them up. Or like you have to pull up to a Discord every day for X amount of fucking days in order to be like, people to be like, oh shit, like I guess he's a regular now. Like let's talk to him. Like it's not just something any normie could pick up and be like, oh yeah, let me step into this. You know what I'm saying? It takes a certain amount of dedication.
All right, let's go by. Let's take it a step forward in the conversation because I also don't think that every person should want or even try to like do a like. Not everyone needs to be a content creator.
Wait, there's a great plug related to what you're saying, Leap, which is if none of you guys have seen the documentary called Press Pause Play, it's single-handedly predicted this movement that exists today that I sort of still can't wrap my head around, which is the idea that like everyone can do it, which I think like is partially true. I think of course like AI makes it even easier for it to be true, but there's a big sort of question of like should everyone be able to do it? And I think the answer to that is kind of what Jen said, which is like the answer is yes if you can get people to care, but no if you give up and you can't. And it's very much a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like you have to have a massive ego to actually think people are ever going to give a shit about anything you do. And everyone on this stage probably has a massive ego to some extent in thinking that in the first place. And then you have to manifest that to be true. That's like some hard-ass fucking shit.
Wait, yo, Lead Blau Cookie's fucking spitting right now. Dude, he's cooking.
This Press Pause Play documentary is all about how humans in general we are so self-important that we actually spend time looking at meta content online instead of like necessarily pushing our humanity forward, right? Think about how many people choose to just consume and create content instead of like making the world an actual better place. And then you could argue that like maybe this content makes people happy on average and like maybe that makes the world a better place, but really does it? Or are we just so self-important that we want to be popular and we're looking at views on our TikToks? Like,
I
I don't
feel
know,
like
it's kind of dark.
so many people though. Like,
I-
okay, Twitter, I feel like I have to make new Twitters all the time because Twitter was where you just like used to scream into the void and like say shit that you like just needed to say, but didn't actually need anyone who knew you to hear it,
Yeah,
right?
so just to finish this thought, and I agree with you, Jen. Like this documentary again that I just want to plug because it's an hour or something long. It's free on Vimeo. It's called Press Pause Play. It's slightly focused on music, but it does talk about all types of content creators, and it's basically like, yo, like the next thing that's going to happen in the digital world is everyone's going to think they can do it, and like, is that good or bad? And then it basically just talks to one of the most talented musicians that I think ever existed. Olafur Arnalds is one of the best classical composers, and then it talks to all these different experts in social and like different fields, and it just gets this perspective on like, is it good that everyone can create shit, or is it bad that everyone can create shit? Like net for humanity. And I tend to think it's probably bad, but it doesn't really matter what I think because we're going there anyway. End of story.
So, I mean, this happened a lot in the SoundCloud era for hip hop and like the quote unquote mumble rappers or whatever. That to me would like the 26 for me 2016 was like maybe it was because I was younger, but that was like an amazing era for just like hip hop was fun back then. I mean, it wasn't like the most technically proficient, but it was fun. And especially because Instagram was getting so big at that time as well. It was already huge, but it was so visibly accessible where you see these like 16-year-old rappers like the little Pumps, the fucking little Zans, like all these people, and they're just balling out. And that created an entire generation of people who said, fuck it, like I can make music in my bedroom too. And me being one of those people, I was heavily inspired by those artists, and I'm like, fuck it, like I can do that too. And while it didn't work for me, it inevitably led me down a path that has me here talking to you guys right now. So I genuinely think that it can be distracting for some people, and a lot of people end up just screaming into the void forever, like Jen was saying, screaming into the void, and they never really are able to achieve anything. But for the people that do, dude, we have a lot of talent that we would have never seen, a lot of creation, a lot of art, a lot of music that would genuinely never exist if it wasn't for the ease of accessibility that modern day social media provides to us. You don't need to go to a label. You don't need to sign to some big distribution thing. You can just make shit in your bedroom and pop off. And that, to me, is like, I mean, it's even like rooted to me in how I think about the Web3 ethos, where you have the decentralized. A lot of people say like raising money through NFT projects and stuff is bad, whatever. I do think it can be bad, but there's a lot of projects that probably would not have existed if they had to go the traditional like VC route and accredited like people can just be in their bedroom, have a crazy idea, and people around the world can jump in and be involved. Like that to me is as crypto as it gets. And so I would say, Blau, to the question, I would say it's a good thing for me personally, but I'll have to watch the documentary later tonight and I'll let you know tomorrow what I think. But look, we'll throw it to some of these hands. We also have Zintani up here. We got to go to Marianne as well. Zintani, what's up?
Yo, yo, yo. I hate this conversation. It's like demoralizing and dehumanizing. It's so 2024 and it's so ugh, like it just makes me want to like have a tea party with people that aren't even on the internet and like talk about things that have nothing to do with this, you know what I mean? But that being said, a lot of the Web3 influencers, I want you to look at the big ones. Go on to Social Blade and look at how many followers follow them, and go see if they're doing anything else that could account for that number of followers. I'm just saying, like, this is a small space, okay? And the people that are running around with tons and tons of followers, you look at how many. I mean, we can see it now. We can see their analytics. So I'm just saying, you know, a lot of it's bullshit. I wouldn't get in your head about it.
Zintani, call him out, Zintani. You can't come up here and not say names.
Ooh. Well, I mean, there's a lot, but like literally, you can just look on Social Blade, dude. Look
Nah,
at
name by name.
You got name?
Alex, Shill Villain.
All right,
Very
all right.
obvious one. We'll
All right, take it back.
That's enough names. That's enough.
Okay.
Yeah, please God. All right. Like Voldemort, the one who shall not be named. Okay. Well, look. Tony, I would say most people think engagement is probably not real. Actually, that's not true. I don't want to look. You cannot say that most people's engagement is not true, or most people are like fabricating their following. I don't think that's true. I've never fucking paid for bots once in my life. I know Thread hasn't. A lot of the people I know are doing it all legitimately.
Wait, hold on. I'm not saying you're on here every day. It makes sense. If you're in a space every day and you're advertising yourself, and then you look at your follower count and how many people are following each day, it makes sense. But there's a lot of people that are running around that like it's just not real. You like need to take that into account too. I'm just saying, like, there's no point in you know, getting down on yourself over this shit.
Well, no, I don't like some of the accounts that are big in their followings. Like they're very obviously big.
Sure, but like Alex, I mean that's a real one. So well, hold on, but that's real. If you look at, you know, he pays for followers.
Okay.
Zintani, you're sparking the next Twitter drama for tomorrow right now.
Just be real, dude. Like, can you just be real for a second?
All right, okay.
You can
I will
take
be
it yourself.
No, I'll have the conversation. No, I will be real, and as I make my burrito ramen here, I will be real. I'll say this: like people can say what they want about Chillin. Obviously, he wasn't.
Wait, hold on.
Hold on. Can I give my take? I'd let you cook. I'll let you cook right after what I'm cooking now. Yeah, like people can say what they want about him, and he wasn't the nicest to me. That's for sure. That being said, I still think to this day he was one of the best Spaces hosts that ever existed. I think his shows were undoubtedly some of the most like entertaining, engaging content. He had Web3 in a fucking chokehold. Like I can give props where props are due. Bro was hosting 6 spaces a day with like 1,000 concurrent in every single one. And like you can say that maybe some of it was bots, whatever, but the majority of it wasn't. And every single person that dunked on him was begging to get up on that stage. Every single person wanted to be up there. He was like, he turned there's only so much real estate in Spaces. You have the title, which I think that, I think we pioneered the rugby, like the big titles in a certain way, and I'll take my credit for that. Secondly, though, I did get people. Secondly, you have the title, you have the stage, you have the mute button, and you have the buttons in the bottom right-hand corner and left-hand corner. That's basically the real estate that exists in Spaces. So outside of the title, he took something that nobody was even thinking about, which was the mute button, and turned it into a character, which seems very juvenile now, or like remedial, or like it doesn't seem that exciting or important. But I'm telling you, people were not thinking about Spaces in that way. They just weren't. So like, I can give credit where credit's due, and undoubtedly I still think he's hosted some of the best Spaces that have ever happened. Now obviously, like, it can go well, and I think he's just close to the sun, whatever. But like, just an undeniable giga talent when it came to hosting Spaces, and I don't know, I can give credit where credit's due. So I think it's like unfair to just say that like, oh, it's all fabricated and botted. Bro was hosting 6 Spaces a day for like 8 months. Like, that takes a level of commitment that's
Hold on.
do that.
Wait. You guys told me to name someone, so I named someone that's did a rug pull that I was involved in. Like, I got rugged by the guy. So you don't like, what is the point? Like, he buys followers. There's many people that buy followers. That's all I'm saying. And
Okay.
it's not like you guys told me to name someone, so I just chose someone that's an asshole. Like,
totally,
what that's
no,
the
no, no,
safest option for me to, like, what?
totally
Like,
fair. It's totally fair.
okay. All right. Well, I'm not shitting on anyone. I get it. Like, if you pay for followers, it makes people think you're a bigger deal than you are, and then people are more likely to follow you, and then you get real
And that's
followers.
exactly how K Money built his following.
And K Money, as we shift topics here, because Zintan, I appreciate the take. I did ask you to name somebody, so that is on me.
Okay, hold on.
But
the biggest defense I have to my following and my engagement is that when I shitted on music NFTs, like, that thing did, like, I think, I don't know, like 1,000 or 2,000 likes, and I see a lot of people making content that does 1,000 to 2,000 likes in Web3, but it's weird because I don't see a lot of people out, like, in the space talking about that piece of content, whereas I got dunked on by the entire music NFT fucking sector of the space, and for the next 48 hours,
except for me,
every
bro,
fucking Twitter space was talking about music
Yeah, so
NFTs.
did I.
So, like, dude, I don't know, like that's the best defense I have to, like, I feel like I just beat the case, Blau. I don't know.
Well, Kevin, so I know a lot of people looked at that tweet and said, I mean, I looked at it, I'm like, this is clearly satirical. But there is a semblance of truth to it. I'm a musician myself, and I think music NFTs are cool, and you're not wrong.
I mean, the best joke has like just like a core of like truth in it. So, I don't know, I literally do like I woke up that day, like the night before, you and me, we went to Koreatown. Yeah, I mean, we're like smashing some soju, and I was just feeling loose, bro. Like, I was just, I stand by that.
Also,
Yo, what do you mean by that?
So this place we went to, it was me, Fred, and Kevin, and this place is like, basically there's tables. It's called Chi-Chi's, and the tables have these little iPads on them, and you can bet bottles of soju against the other tables in like little mini games, basically. It's so fucking cool. But the thing is, everyone's wasted, so you just end up, if you stay sober, you just win. We left with like 2 unopened bottles of soju on the table. We're like, we don't even know what to do with all this soju. Anyway, so shout out to Chi-Chi's. But Kevin, I actually think that you did a pretty amazing service to music NFTs, because we have been talking about music NFTs ever since you made that tweet, and so have many other people. So like, love it or hate it, you reignited the conversation around them in a way that just wasn't happening at that time. Of course, people are talking about that.
Actually, it helped me because it was like the same day we launched our new thing that had nothing to do with music NFTs, and it made me look good. So I
Blau,
love you, Kay.
by the way, I'll send you my wallet address, for the promo.
Oh, bro, I think I already actually sent you that token.
Oh, wait, actually?
I think so. Maybe not, or maybe I think I didn't because you're.
You sent it to fatjugs.eth?
No, you said.
Okay. All right.
Wait, hold on. Wait, there was actually real. I think
I don't even know how these international DJs have a way of just hacking the system here, and they can just toggle as muted. Appreciate that one. Appreciate that. Look, welcome to Space, everybody. If you're enjoying anything about the conversation, wow, you can wave all you want. Click that button in the bottom right-hand corner and give it a like, comment, or a retweet. It's the best way to support the space. All right, Blau's throwing sad emojis, and now I feel bad. Go ahead, Blau.
But I was worried that somebody was going to steal K Money's ENS because it had a different controller to registrant. So I just wanted to let him know that he should make sure his controller and registrant are the same, because when I got hacked and someone else stole my ENS and it's in a dead wallet, I was able to make sure that I could reroute all the funds to myself because they were a dumbass and they didn't change it. So I was just going to make sure that K Money's ENS was okay.
Wait,
that's all.
Okay, so thankfully 438 people are in here. So yeah, one of you guys now know that about my ENS. It's pretty worthless in there. I don't really have anything.
No. They can't. They can't do. They can't do anything about it. It's that whoever is the controller address they can't. So you just have to go change it because you definitely own it. But the controller address can change where the routing goes, even if you're the owner. So you have to change the controller. You'll be good. You'll be good, bro. You'll be good.
Dude, I can't believe how long I've been raw dogging, like, not only my ENSs, but also just trading on a fucking iPhone with a MetaMask. Hey guys, welcome to the space. Yeah, I quit Spaces. This is Leap's clickbait title of the night. Seems like he's trying to get sympathy from you all and alluding to his, absence of Spaces. But yeah, Jen, I see your hand up. How's it going?
That's crazy.
I put a little tutorial if you need to learn how to work your ENS, because also sometimes it's a good secure thing if your controller and your register is different, right? If it's a actual cold storage. Don't want people to be confused. Also, Blau, I sent a picture from 2012 and I have funny emails. But anyway, I feel like I was going to say something so long ago that's not that even relevant anymore. But on the fact of like decentralization and social and discovery, right? Like, decentralization doesn't solve the, endorphins that a lot of people come to social media for. But I think that at this point, I don't know, I feel like we refer to platforms like this as social media, and they're not fully social, right? There's a lot of like business, promotion, other things media. And I do think it would be great for one day there to exist something where it's solely like social based, right? There's not like this crazy incentive. It doesn't get taken over. Like, it doesn't have all this crazy monetization where you see people doing things, and just a place for people to connect. And I don't think we really have that anymore. And I think it's kind of needed.
And also, I appreciate you putting this tutorial up. The ENS has seen a big, I don't know, like rejuvenation since Vitalik was talking about it recently, and even the token was up like 100% in the past.
I know, what the fuck?
It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's just crazy to see. I personally like ENS, even though I've had some bad experiences with ENS as I've purchased, but I like decentralized name services. I think it's cool, and I think it's cool that it's going to be. I mean, there's like so many of them too. There's unstoppable domains. Do you guys remember when they changed the name of this platform to X? There was a huge, basically, bull run of people buying unstoppable domains that were .x. Just coincidentally, unstoppable domains had a .x like crypto domain, and people were just buying them like crazy. I don't know whatever happened with that.
Wait, Leap, do you have any .souls?
I think I have a couple, but nothing. I don't have Leap.soul. So if
Oh, really? Oh, damn, that sucks.
I have
LARP.
I have a bunch of LNSs though. Do you remember those? Who remembers LNS? Does anybody here remember that?
Like Ellen DeGeneres status? Like,
bro, that was the most. I'm not even gonna.
Yo, they finessed us. That's what happened, bro. We got finessed.
Maybe like 600 Ellen. I was like rushing to mint as many of them as I could. It's the Lineage name system, which was.
Oh yeah, I have like 5,000 of them.
It's insane. So for anybody who doesn't know,
wait, Leap, did you have a .choke on?
What?
a dot choke on my dick.
All right, guys. It's been fun. It hasn't actually. This space has just been a train wreck since the beginning. It took me 5 times I opened this space to even make it work. Elon doesn't like me ever since I said he streams trash ass Diablo 4 all day, and I stand on that. Game sucks. Anyway, so the Lineage name system, for anybody who doesn't know, it's basically it was, I think, the first ever true non-fungible token S contract that was deployed on ETH, something like that. And it was like the contract was like rediscovered 6 months ago or 8 months ago or something. And yeah, there was like a huge rush of people just minting as many of these as they could, because they said, look, ENS is cool, but these are like the true original decentralized name service things. And I don't really know what ever happened with it. I don't know if they ended up developing it out, but I know I wasted a bunch of money minting them.
I have the best names on there, like the best names.
Dude, I have all the emojis. Like I'm sitting there claiming like Russian 3-digit LNS, like just to get ahead of the curve on anything I can. And nothing ended up happening with them for whatever reason. I don't know.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
they come-
historical
if-
NFTs all over.
Yeah,
again.
they come to surface. I have all the big names. I literally that night I think I minted over 5,000 names.
I own James Franco dot everything, by the way.
Oh no, I'm talking about I have like Apple.
I have Elon Musk's dick.eth.
Why is that? Why would he want that? Why is that something?
I don't think he wants that. I wanted it. It's mine. I
I'm
don't
just-
actually
Yo,
want
what do you
his
mean by
dick,
that?
but like we're decentralizing the dick. I don't know. All right, it's my favorite ENS.
Look,
Talking on ENS, just make sure you renew your shit. I think I lost 500 ENSs, and they were actually good, and people snagged them from me, and I totally forgot them on
If
like
you
a
didn't do
ledger.
it for like 100 years when gas was low,
No,
you're
I mean,
stupid.
these are ones that I did like 2019 or 2018. I forget, and I forgot about them, and I one day woke up and I was like, oh shit, let me check, and they're all gone, and
Dude,
they're all good names.
Dude, Jay, I sniped so many good like
Wait,
dot
is this-
eats and dot souls like in the middle of summer, because when when everything was crashing, I was like, bro, no one is gonna be renewing their shit, bro. Like,
Yeah, bro, you probably snagged some of mine. I swear.
Well, look,
I looked at my thing and they're all taken. I'm like,
well, if James Franco ever wants to live on the Solana ecosystem, he's gonna have to come to me. That's all I'm saying. I also have I think I have James Franco dot like 50 different things. I don't know why I just started like collecting them. It's not even. I would give them to him if he wants them, but just started collecting them.
so is it like, are you a big James Franco fan, or like, do you want to dive into that a little bit?
No, this is just a bit that I've been going with for 5 minutes. I don't own anything.
Okay, all right. I respect
yeah, you know
it.
what's crazy? What I had that I'm so mad I lost them all. I had this sounds so psychotic, but I had the whole entire Starbucks menu, .eth. Every single drink that you think about, I had it .eth. I'm pretty sure they're all taken.
Bro, I gotta be honest, I don't even know how to spell Frappuccino. So
yeah,
like,
it's called ChatGPT now. Shit is easy.
Also, they nerfed ChatGPT. Has anybody used it recently?
Yeah, I use it all the time.
It's gotten dumber because dumb people, aka all of us, use it and it learns from us. So then it's gotten stupider. Like, who could have foreseen that one?
it's like fucking devolved. That's so fucking funny.
It's literally gotten worse. I was trying to use it earlier today. I don't remember what I was asking it, but it was anyway.
Now it acts like a secretary. I don't know why. My shit is just like, it's like, how can I help? Like, I don't know, it's so weird. Now it acts like a secretary.
I've been using, so with ChatGPT, I've been using the voice commands way more now, because it's like very easy to just like, instead of typing it in, the voice stuff is pretty good. Also, did you guys see Tesla? They released these robots that can fold clothes. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, bro, I want one